The new Lord of the Rings set is bad value. Looking at the prices on Card Market, there are few cards you could pull from a box to actually help you get your money's worth. For a set aimed at Modern, it definitely has few playables and value compared to other sets in the past aimed at Modern. So in this video, I'm going to explore what I believe to be the best value cards in the set that you should pick up before the print run ends. These cards are simple and just the land cycling commons. For 1 mana, you can cycle these commons to get a land out of your deck, but what's useful about this effect is that you can get the land type, meaning a Triome or a Shock land. In both Modern and Pauper, these cards have strong applications that I believe will be playable over the next few years without rotating or finding a better solution. In Modern, it slots into Living End, being a way to lower the land count in the list as low as 16 or 17, as these land cyclers make 1 land hands way less risky. Not only that, but the creatures that you get to cycle are big, so when you do get to Living End, you get access to all effects Trample and Pump effect to get the damage through. Current winning lists, as you can see on screen, have between 6 and 8 copies of these cyclers, and I believe it's here to stay in the Modern format despite only having a week or 2 of gameplay. In Pauper, it's a more simple answer. Having a consistent way to hit your land drops while also having flood protection is needed in most decks. Not only that, but you have some nice synergy with cards like Brainstorm to shuffle away unwanted cards on top of the library, or even delve creatures out of blue-black control. My personal favourite is Ponza, as it is a deck that is easy to lose to with Flood, but having access to a 6 mana threat to slam on the later turns that can also be a land on the early turns can change a lot of games. As I am a big Pauper fan, I'm going to show you some Pauper matches to show why these cyclers are very good. To start off the first round, we have one of the most degenerate starting hands you can have in Pauper because we have a turn 1 Arbor Elf into turn 2 Wild Growth, which will let us Acid Moss the opponent to essentially win the game. The opponent does start off the game with an island and passes back, so I am scared of Spell Pierce, but I'm not going to not play my spells. So I play the Wild Growth, this forest now taps for 2 mana, the Arbor Elf untaps it, so we now have 4 mana turn 2, that lets me slam this Acid Moss to both destroy the island and get a land out of my deck. They do actually have a Lauren revealed from their hand, which is a nice new addition to the format. Now if you thought things couldn't get better for me, my opponent plays a tap land, I play a massive 7 mana Cascader, which finds another Acid Moss to destroy that land, and the opponent is done with this game. And going into the second game, we have a great opening hand. It's 1 land, but we have the Generous End as well as 3 Utopia Sprawl Wild Growth effects. With a land off the top, the best thing we can do is play our Wild Growth and pass back the turn. With the opponent island cycling, playing their island and passing back, I don't play my land before casting this Wild Growth to try and bait out either a counterspell or a Spell Pierce because I have so many mana sources. As they do have the counterspell, I do cycle my Generous End and play the Utopia Sprawl. Things develop very slowly with the opponent island cycling again and also using Snuff Out on my top decked Arbor Elf. Now the opponent slams a load of pressure on the board with a Tolarian Terror and a Gurmag Angler. With only 6 mana available to me, it's obvious I've got to play this boarding party so that I can both add a good attacker on the board as well as cascade into something nice. We do find an Acid Moss, which is okay because it does get rid of the opponent's black source, and I do attack in, which prompts them to block. The reason why I showcase this match is because the opponent here uses Brainstorm as well as an Island Cycler to shuffle away the cards. A great play to help get the opponent what they need to beat me. What is useful though is I do have this Scred to kill this Tolarian Terror, and hopefully the top of my deck can bless me. Things aren't looking too good though. When I Scred the Tolarian Terror, it does die, but the opponent untaps, slams a Gurmag Angler and another creature to make me have to top deck something here. What is good though, compared to previous Ponza lists in the past, we wouldn't have as many top decks, but now with Generous End being a very good card on this board, we have more outs. And yeah, I guess I'm just a beast today because I find a boarding party off the top of the deck, and looking at the Cascade effect, we find a Llanowar Visionary, which draws us another Cascader. So things are definitely going my way this game, and the opponent has a Snuff Out for the boarding party, which we don't care about because we can follow up with a massive creature. To make things even worse, the opponent follows up with an Unexpected Fangs to make their Gurmag Angler 6/6 lifelink, but I find an Avenging Hunter off the Altasaur, so we can safely say that the opponent is dead here. Now you can make some arguments that Generous End didn't even win me this match, but what was useful was the forest cycling. How about some spots where I actually cast the Generous End? Well, here is a good scenario. I top decked an Annoyed Altasaur when the opponent has stolen the initiative from me. They do have 2 flying creatures and are at 6 life, so putting pressure on them would be good. We cascade into a generous end, which not only makes us an important food, but also gives us 2 reach blockers. As Jewel Thief is a 3/3 Vigilance Trample, we can attack him with both of our creatures, and if the opponent doesn't have a removal spell, we are guaranteed to take back the initiative. As they just block with Muldrifter, we get back the initiative, and now I can forge my Annoyed Altasaur so that I have an 8/7 reach trample in play, as well as a 5/7 reach in play to be able to block. But one big problem in Pauper is that with only access to commons, there aren't great ways to kill massive creatures with large values of toughness. And this happened in game 2. I had a big board, my opponent's at 18 life, so I just slam my Generous End, attack him with all my creatures, and because they can't kill anything, they just concede the game. Generous End here was definitely the MVP, and if I cascaded into anything else, I most likely wouldn't have been able to win game 1. While killing 1 massive creature is easy because you can use multiple burn spells, killing 2 massive creatures, definitely difficult with commons. Now if you've made it to the end of this video, I want to show you something quite embarrassing. While it's easy for me to show matches where I win or I play well and then lose, something people don't take into account is that I have to play multiple decks across multiple formats with multiple different archetypes and games and lines that I haven't seen before. So while I needed to play Living End for the introduction to this video, I have never played Living End before. So here in this game, for example, I grief the opponent. Seeing a load of Primeval Titan cards, I have to take the Amulet of Vigor to slow down the opponent's draw. And then from here, the opponent decides to not play anything so that they can eventually discard their Cultivator Colossus to their discard step. Now, as I have never seen someone discard a creature to their discard step before against Living End, I thought my opponent had just given up and I didn't even notice they discarded it. Now I grief the opponent and I take, out of all 3 cards, I take the Azusa, because I'm just thinking, oh, I've won this game, it doesn't matter what I take, because I'm about to get 2 griefs back. And then I see the Cultivator Colossus trigger go on the stack, and the Azusa come back from the graveyard. Yes, I'm a massive idiot, I forgot that Living End returns cards from my opponent's graveyard to the battlefield. I should have taken one of the Summoners packs. Then from here, I lose the game because the opponent has 2 Valakuts in play, and they have 3 Dryad Arbors in their hand. If I took one of the Summoners packs, then I would have been able to take 2 Dryad Arbors here with both of the grief triggers, so I actually punted away this game because I just took the Azusa for no reason. Despite being dog at Living End, I just want to emphasize that I think that these cards are very good. And the reason why is because right now they are like 10 cents a piece. So if you do have any interest in Pauper or Modern Living End or even potential combos in the future, you should definitely pick them up because they are some good value. That's it for this video today though. Here's the chest of you gambling degenerates. I'll catch you guys in the next one.